He did the Escher belt on me a year ago that ended up being included in Tattoo Time #4. I'm real pleased with it. It was my first major piece and a real technical challenge for Bill. We're both proud of it. My first piece was a small yin and yang by Ed Hardy here in this studio in 1977. Bill, can you work and talk at the same time?
Sure.
Well, tell me about your first tattoo.
Well, my first tattoo came about approximately 74, 75, maybe, in San Francisco. Up until then, I'd not really thought much about tattoos. Curiosity led me over and into the famous Lyle Tuttle studio on 7th Street, with whom Pat Martinick was working at the time. And Pat Martinick put my first tattoo on me, which was American Rose.
Were you hooked?
Shortly afterwards, I came back for more. In the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I had a half a dozen on me. Very, very enthusiastic about them. Although uneducated, I blindly kept up my collection and slowly began to educate myself over a period of 3 years, approximately 3 years.
How many artists have you had work on you?
To present date, I would say approximately 45 artists who, 5 were women. I'd say 5 hand tattoos and the rest machine tattoos. The majority of the work on me has been done by Ed, who is surely my favorite tattoo artist, and I'm sure many other people's as well.
Well, how did you meet Ed?
Strictly had heard him through reputation and just got up the courage and called him up on the phone and made an appointment to come in and talk about a tattoo. And
did you start out with a major piece?
Well, at that time my left arm was pretty heavily covered with tattoos, and I decided to let Ed do my right arm, and I asked him if he would draw a woman playing a flute coming out of a chrysanthemum. And he did so very well. And my first piece was this one here, which is of some fame, and it's been photographed many times in magazines. And needless to say, that hooked me on Ed Hardy.
Tell me how you went from being a collector to an artist.
Well, education, basically. I mean, studying, aside from the various styles of tattooing and becoming interested, watching, being allowed to observe other tattoo artists doing tattoos at various shops in San Francisco, slowly attending a couple tattoo conventions, realizing the amazing energy level that is involved in a lot of tattoo artists' work. Ed allowed me to trace and copy some of his early designs, flash designs, which he drew and used in the San Diego period, even some here in town in Tattoo City. Tracing these, bringing them back for critique, allowed me to accumulate a small amount of my own flesh, which I had drawn, and at the given opportunity, I was allowed to do an apprenticeship with Dean Dennis, who at the time was located on Broadway in San Francisco, with the help of people like Chuck Eldridge and Terry Tweed, and of course Greg Irons and Ed and Jack Rudy and Bob Roberts. I think even more that I can't bring to mind right now. Having friends who encouraged me, helped, directed me or taught me some of the many things that affects the tattoo. Okay, hello folks here. Now, we got an important message here. If you want to beam in on this here, this is something that I think we all should do. That's to support our local tattoo artists. That's what Ren Coleman here, otherwise known as Heck, has done. Heck. Came in here one day, we're busy, and he says, I'll wait. And he waited out in the front room. He brings in this little illustration here and says, can you do something like this? And this was the Joker. And I said, well, you have to do it a little bigger. He says, okay, so we went for it. This is the Joker here now. This little Joker here has caused quite a stir. And the fact is that the Joker that wears it causes the stir. It makes it go along with it there. So what we're trying to say here is that if you got an idea or some type of little picture or pattern you want to bring it along to us here, we can pretty much do a nice resemblance of it. Of course, we modify things, change the colors a little bit, and
It's right nice.
yeah, it comes out pretty darn nice, I might say there sometimes. Anyway, he's happy and I'm happy. And this is a happy type of tattoo. This is your happy tattoos here.
Looks like a pretty happy pumpkin.
Yeah, that's a pretty...
That's my 30th birthday pumpkin.
Ren turned 30 years old on 10/29/87.
Thanks, Mom.
That's what we like to. His old
They're
mom.
raising
The
me
mom
up.
tattoo lives in the pumpkins. The zanies Archie wigged out Halloween type pumpkins are the latest. Be sure to get one, folks. They are available over here at Realistic Studio, and we have many variations on the theme here. As you can see, Ren here is off into a big collage of zany, crazy designs. He's quite a colorful guy here. This particular tattoo here, idea, concept was done by yours truly here. Now, this tattoo would be very hard to duplicate. For starters, it's in reverse. Yes, that's right, folks. You got to look in the mirror to see this one. It was done on the second month, 1987. It was a full moon. It was Friday the 13th, and it wound up overlapping into the next day, which was Valentine's Day. So we got the bat, the moon, the heart, and the diamond with the green 13. And Ren being a musician, we turned the end of the bat's wings into little F holes. So we got the full F holes over here on the side here. If you take a close look here, we got the 287, February 87, the number 13, the lucky bat, and the heart, and the full moon, and the little shamrock there was added a little later. That was done on March the 17th, of course, Patty's Day. Oh, it was a nice Patty's Day. We put the green in there, just a touch of the green. Might note the little color accents along the way, hidden in the cheek and the rosebud. This tattoo was originally done by Bill Sam, 1985. Of course, the original artist, Antonio Vargas, one of the all-time great pinup drawers of our times.
Right before the death of the model, Olive Thomas.
Olive Thomas, true. In memory of Olive, this piece was called, and of course, once again, with the Irish feeling, the request from the original artwork, which was done in a black robe, was a request of doing the Irish green. Just a touch of the green.
Hey, man, you watching TV? No, he's a god of the afterworld. Neither heaven nor hell, just a boring eternity.
Oh, he's the keeper of purgatory.
No, it's not a purgatory. It's just like a boring eternity.
This particular design here was from the Greg Irons collection, set of flash in which Greg drew and made available in 1983, half skull and half woman. Done by Bill Salmon, as close to the original artist style, although a touch of color.
Brown-eyed girl.
Brown-eyed girl. Now, this piece we see here, the NYC, was done by Leila Zoletta, and artwork from the skull was taken from a Robert Williams design. Robert is an artist who works in Los Angeles and does some excellent renditions of many tattoo-related images. The little silhouette on the left you see of our friend Adolf was done by Dan Tomei, and just a little character type drawing. And as we move further down into this skull was done by Vivine Lazanga, with the hand holding the skull. The life and death lettering basically says it all, and that's
Bill Salmon.
one of my tattoos that kind of themed after the last issue of Tattoo Time, Life and Death. Okay, we're leading up here to the infamous hardcore local San Francisco band's logo, the Fuck Up Skull. The Fuck Up Skull is always done in black. The originator Joe Dirt, singer of the Fuck Ups, guitar player, was basically Paul Dawson produces these guys here and got a little record out on them, and they're pretty much well known throughout the world. Paul Dawson has the first Fuck Up skull done by Leo Zuleta. Added later was the Frisco by Broadway Bill back in '83. A little green in there to keep the Irish happy, and of course, coming down the side here, we have the infamous Captain Don's souvenir sword tattoo.
Captain Don being a famous style record for 49 piece and sword swallower. But it's not less
World
famous.
fan.
Yes, world acclaim.
So, okay, this particular skull here was done by Philip Liu.
Found in his sketchbook, and I said, hey, let me have that tattoo.
Right, this was circa 1983, 84. I'll take that back. Circa 1985 on the Philip Liu skull.
Yeah, look at that. Look at them ribs. Look at that rib shirt.
Typical. Is that a mantra in the forehead there? That's a good shot. I like
blur.
that. I like that. There we go.
Oh man, that'll be missed at the time.
This particular skull in Dawson's collection here was done by sailor Cam Cook at Henry Gofield's shop in Broadway, 1985 approximately.
Dripping skull.
The dripping, slime, acid-ridden, nailed to the wall. Very subtle, yet very bizarre. Touch of the Swiss cheese look there, and there it is, the nail. As we nail this down, it's dripping and corroding away into the green slime, mucky murk.
Colorful.
The Kool-Aid and the pumpkin are great together. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Did I tell you about the guy at Zeitgeist with the pumpkin?
Yeah, I know. Get that flying diamond in there to pull it out.
Okay.
Now these two guys are typical realistic customers too.
Typical customer. My name's Hick. Sanger of the Brazos Balladeers.